close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you. When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you feel.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Grind Fantasy official live stream, Sniping Value with Matt, where we capture and snipe the biggest, largest discrepancies in the entire market. That is the way to make money, one of the preferred ways, not the only way. So many misconceptions in this industry. One of the many ways that you can earn money by sports betting is by taking advantage of mispriced lines across the industry. I mean, I know people that have gotten as far as high as like 20% ROI from doing this method. Guys, if you are consistent with it, if you trust the long-term process, you will be a profitable long-term sports bettor. It's simple, it's easy, it's efficient to technical analyze these sportsbooks lines. We're going to go through the process. If you guys have any questions throughout the entire live stream, feel free to spam them into the chat. We'll also go over the correlation tool. I'll even provide some correlation lineups throughout the entire live stream. So if you guys want correlation lineups, feel free to spam those preferred DFS platforms in the chat. Underdog, Prizepicks, Boom Fantasy, Jock Market, Parlay Play maybe for some sports. But right now, we have a ton of value across the industry, across the entire college football market. A lot of different correlation slips. So gearing up, guys, if you want to sign up for the correlation tool, now is the best time to do it. So much volume. The thing that we talk about with correlation is volume is key. Why is that? Because it increases the likelihood that you're going to remain profitable in the long run. Obviously, if you just take one slip that happens to not go 5 of 5, the first person who believes in this product and this tool and invests money into it and only puts in one slip and has a 5% chance of hitting that slip, do you think they're gonna? Do you think that they're gonna trust the process going forward? No, of course not. I wouldn't either. Like if I'm not told to enter every single slip, as many slips that I possibly can. Each one of these slips that we show on the correlation tool is long-term profitable because it exploits another edge that's called correlation. Because the fantasy apps do not alter their payouts. However, dynamic platforms, dynamic sports books like DraftKings, FanDuel, they do. They alter their payouts. And they altered them drastically based on positively correlating same game parlays. You throw in Trevor Lawrence with Brock Purdy this weekend. Obviously, they are positively correlated either on the overs or the unders. Those are two heavily correlated players. Same thing with their wide receivers. Same thing with the punter. Same thing with the opposing defensive tackles. The linebackers, the cornerbacks. Everybody is very positively correlated within that matchup. You just have to figure out where the discrepancies are the most, where the edge is exploitable on these plus EV individual legs. And then what we're going to do is construct a lineup, that's what the software does, based on those plus EV individual legs, and then find you the most profitable slip. So that's a correlation tool if you guys want to sign up for it. All the links are in the bio. I know that we're going to snipe some value, provide some more content throughout the live stream. So let's go ahead and let's start out here. Dak Prescott just appeared to the top. So Dak Prescott, I'll explain why that is a profitable play here in just a second. Dak Prescott hopefully still up here yet under pass attempts. Theodore from NHL. That's an over. I took config earlier. Let's go ahead and lock in Nerds. Sure. Nerds is a nerd. And I don't like how close this edge is to a 54.26 mark because that is the break-even percentage for 5-man power. So I'm going to switch over to the middling tool, see if I can find any gems. Usually I can. Hopefully this Dak Prescott play does not get removed. So let's switch over to the middling tool. If you guys don't know what the middling tool is, completely different from the optimizer because it does a one-to-one comparison, finds the largest discrepancies between two fantasy apps. That's where you should be middling. Usually we can find this in niche markets like 3 points attempted, field goals attempted, for NBA, for esports, too. Doesn't look like there's too much, honestly. Got some headshots here. Westmelon. We can go there. Westmelon, and then are they playing for the same team? Nope. We can go Jason Myers again. I already played them. Let's go Sabonis. Sabonis under 13.5 rebounds. So what we're doing is we're looking for an individual plus EV leg, an average percent odds to hit of 54.26%. That is a true break-even percentage that you need average per leg to beat Prizepicks long term. That is what you need for 5-man flexes. The reason why we're playing 5-man flexes as opposed to 2-man powers is because you need a higher break-even percentage to break even for 2-man powers. It just provides better bang for your buck when you play 5 flex slips. Same thing with Prizepicks 6 flexes, where you only have to hit over 54.26%, the average percent odds per leg, to remain profitable for these slip types. So that's the reason why we consistently play these 5 flex slips. And as you can see here, they just got bumped on the screen. I wasn't even able to get these in. And the reason why these are bumped down from 31.5, Dak Prescott was down to 31. If you observe the market here, hopefully you guys were able to get in that slip, by the way. The entire market has a set closer to 30.5. This has slight juice here on the over on Pinnacle, slight juice on the over here. Between all these apps, 50-50 line, it looks like it's a direct comparison here. Well, no, it's still lower here on Underdog. It's also lower on Jock Market, 0.5. The only one that has a one-to-one comparison here is going to be on Parlay Play. But the entire market, the consensus market data here has it set to 30.5. So as you can see here, Prizepicks is like, hey, we need to get rid of the edge because we identified it. Whether they have the optimizer or not, they have some sort of system that compares lines as well, because what they're doing is observing the market too. And any plus EV edge that they are showing or that they have for their sports bettors, they're going to quickly get rid of that. And they identify the edge through either comparing it manually themselves, an automated system, or even sharp money coming in on one side or the other. So what they do is they have very profitable accounts, like your Alex Monahans of the world, like your TJ Jordans of the world, like your Matt Downses of the world, like your Dustins of the world. They have us tagged here. So whenever we make a bet, they're able to adjust that. And it's very smart. They have our accounts, and we're not the only ones. There's so many sports bettors out there now that are considered sharp and that are making money off of Prizepicks long term. And when that happens, they adjust these lines. And it makes sense because they're diminishing that edge. They're getting rid of that edge. And they're trying to make money off you guys. But us sharp sports bettors know this. So by just simply comparing the market and identifying these sharp plays, that's how you make money long term. So as you can see here, usually when these lines move, that is a very good chance. I'm not saying that Dak Prescott's not going to go over 31.5. Absolutely not. I'm only saying that he has a 54 point whatever it was, 5% chance to hit the under, which is a small edge. It's a very small edge. You flip a coin, right? It's 50-50. We're only giving this an additional 4.55% chance over that mark. So if you think about it, we're just identifying these small mathematical edges. And in the long term, when we're identifying these small mathematical edges, we're remaining profitable. That's how it works. And you got to keep your volume up. I get asked all the time, how many sports bets do I enter per day? How much plus EV? How many plus EV plays should I take advantage of? As many as you can. As many slips as you can. If I wasn't talking to you guys and I wasn't rambling on, I would have entered that slip. I would have been looking for the next edge, whether it be on Prizepicks, and it looks like there's really nothing here left on Prizepicks, which is it's a bummer. So we'll move on to another app. But I just keep looking, keep observing the market. Right now, it looks like Parlay Play is where we should go next. Porzingis' lines have been off all morning, by the way. Again, this is one of many ways. Line comparing correlation. Let's switch over to correlation. Let's talk about it. I know a lot of you can't play college football, so we'll go to the first NFL slip. Why is this profitable? Why is this long-term profitable slip? Right now, we're identifying plus EV edges on each one of these players. We have, it looks like 3 players from the Bucks, 3 players from the Titans, and given the props on the board from Prizepicks, these are the most profitable correlated values. So let's pull up. I want to show you guys because this is always a fun exercise. Hopefully they have lines for this game on FanDuel. I just want to show you guys the difference. It's wild. It's really fun. But let's go and put this in on Prizepicks. Well, I can leave it up. You guys can put it in on Prizepicks. That's fine. I'll look here on the side. I'm going to make sure they have the lines for this game first. When does it play? They play on Sunday, 1 o'clock. We have passing props. Yeah, they do have lines for Baker Mayfield. All right, so look at this. And this is why the tool is so... This is why the tool is awesome. Because right now it's identifying this discrepancy. Baker Mayfield is set to 241.5 on Prizepicks. Guys, look at this. I know this is just one sports book, but we can go back and I can prove it to you. His line is probably set to 250 or closer to it across the sports books. We're getting a 9-yard discrepancy. That could make or break you. And this tool is consistently scanning the market, finding the best edge, right? So that is what it's doing. I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that for a second. We're going to put Godwin in here. We don't have... Yeah, we do. We have Godwin. Trey Palmer. Hopkins. We don't have... yeah, we do. Evans. So take a look at this too. So keep in mind that Mike Evans is set to 60.6 on here. If we switch over, set to 64.5. So we're getting a 4-yard discrepancy here. And that correlation tool is observing that, which is really cool. So I just put in the 6-leg parlay, right? I'm getting this at plus 1,800 odds. We'll round down. We'll round up. We'll call it plus 1,900. Just for the heck of it, right? We're getting almost $1,900 for hitting this exact parlay on FanDuel. And the reason why it's drastically different from Prizepicks is because they know that this is positively correlated. The higher, the better the chance that Mayfield goes over this mark of 250 yards, the more likely Chris Godwin is to go over his receiving yards. The same thing with Mike Evans, right? That's pretty common sense. But what's not common sense is the EV behind each one of these plays. Because if I take this exact slip, assuming that they haven't changed the rules, and I throw this exact slip into a Prizepicks lineup, I'm going to do it for you guys just to prove that the payouts do not change. Mayfield, such a sweet discrepancy there. Will Levis, what a beast he's been. And I like that as a Jags fan. Godwin. Hopkins. Evans. Palmer. Why does he have a jersey as his picture? Okay. The payouts don't change. No matter what, you're always going to get a 25x for going 6 out of 6. And we include insurance. With insurance, with all the math baked into the percent odds that the EV for hitting 5 out of 6, 4 out of 6, 6 out of 6, the percent odds to actually go and hit those legs, these parlay odds happen to equal plus 3850 on Prizepicks. On FanDuel, we're literally getting this at plus 1900. That's literally less than half. Literally less than half the odds that we would get on Prizepicks. And that is the edge. The edge is simply keeping up the volume for correlation trusting the math, trusting the EV, trusting the profit margin, trusting the fact that we're going to find and scope out the biggest discrepancies. And this tool is always scanning for the greatest edge, the most correlated combos, right? So that's why you always see punters closer to kickoff, because punters, unders are very heavily correlated with over receiving yards, over passing yards, right? It makes sense. The more they're in the red zone, the less punts that happen. Anyway, that's how this works. And you guys really have to take a look and compare the EV across the market. And the way that we do that is by putting them in single game parlays on FanDuel. Let's now switch back to the board here, see if we can find any more value. But again, another way that you guys can make money playing fantasy sports. Looks like another play did pop up. Not too much more value though. I'm going to check the middling tool and then we'll switch over to UD/parlay play. Yeah, nothing really. So let's go ahead and switch over to UD. By the way, UD fantasy scores have been insane. Like, they've been way off. So the second that you guys start seeing UD fantasy scores on the board, I would act. Still doesn't look to be much value. Yeah, not much value here on UD. They're getting sharper, man. So that's why I always wait for fantasy scores on UD, because that's where the edge is usually. Yeah, nothing on UD. So we'll switch over to the parlay play. This is a full-time job, right? This is what we're doing all day long. This is how you make money. This is how you observe the market. Just switch back between all these apps. Nothing on UD, or nothing on parlay play too. This might be a short live stream if this keeps up. All right, well, we have some value here on Flip. So Flip, ooh, that looks good. I like player props on here. I'm going to take this on Flip right now. I'm feeling Flip. Been making money on Flip. Right now, we're going to take the under. If you guys don't have Flip, use code DGFantasy. That is not DGF. That's DGFantasy. That's the only app where we have that promo code. I'm going to scroll down to the Jazz and the Grizzlies. I'm taking the under here. Jaren Jackson, PRA at 35.5. That just sounds aggressive. And I'll explain why this is plus EV. And the reason also why I really like Flip is because you can enter straights. Whereas on all these other these fantasy apps, you have to enter parlays, right, to cash out. But this is set up exactly like a dynamic sports book. They're able to fly under the radar in terms of the legality. I'm not going to talk about that. I don't really care. It's legal in my state, so I'm going to take advantage of it, right? It's available in 42 out of 50 states. So you literally just bet this one single play to go under 35.5. The sports books are punishing you more than Flip is by a significant margin. Looks like mainly a Pinnacle here, but Pinnacle considered one of the sharper sports books as well. Minus 182 on the under. They are punishing you for taking the under. Why? Because the likelihood is greater for this player to go under. Same thing for DraftKings. Also a very sharp sports book. Minus 140. You're still getting way better bang for your buck here on Flip. Same thing with Caesars, right? American Sportsbook. Usually with American sportsbooks, very, very accurate, very sharp in the long term and in terms of their player props. Very heavily increasing their juice on the under here. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this in. Jaren Jackson under 35.5. If you guys want to lock that in with me, feel free. And then I'm also going to take this college football play. Don't know if you can in your state, but there's so many college football games to go through on here. I'm going to search. Who wants to watch? Oh, this is tonight. Okay, so we can get another sweat tonight. Point spread. This looks like an alternative point spread of minus 27.5. Auburn has to beat the brakes off of Southeastern Louisiana. That's fine. I can root for a breakdown. Or a beatdown, rather. And again, just to compare. So you throw down $100, right, on DraftKings for this exact same line, this alternative line, you're getting $220 back. For BetRivers, you're getting $245 back. But on Flip, you're getting $265, which is like a significant difference. So that's why we're showing this as a very good plus EV play. This still only has a 40.62% chance to hit according to the sports books. But on Flip, we're giving it a way better percent odds to hit. Or Flip is, rather. Or an even worse, sorry. It's giving it a way worse percent odds to hit. So that's why we're attacking it. If they're valuing this completely different from DraftKings and BetRivers, we're going to hit this on flip. That's how it works. So those are the two plays I'm going to enter. I could do this plus 195, but that's no fun. Who wants to sweat like a long shot prop, right? It looks like all the alt lines are off for this Southeastern Louisiana versus Auburn matchup. So if you guys just want to go down the line, maybe don't hammer every single alternative line, but put a small amount. That's another strategy that people do because they want to take advantage of a ladder, right? Of like a whole chance, the whole ladder for this thing to hit. FanDuel's really off here. I mean, guys, this might be a short stream. Let me just check one last time here. Go through all these apps. I mean, sometimes you just gotta take the card. You just gotta take the cards that you're dealt, right? We did adjust all the Boom payouts. So Boom has 3-man non-insured payouts that pay out 6x, by the way. So we're, again, very competitive. Like, I would check the Boom optimizer a little bit more going forward because there's going to be more and more value. We could go the hot streak, but hot streak's never... Ooh, that's not bad. Could go the Jock Market. Okay. Does anybody have Jock Market? These are pretty off. Let me get rid of college football. If you guys don't have Jock Market, use code DGF for 100% match up to $100. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to switch over to Jock Market real quick. This Tommy DeVito line is crazy. I'm all for rooting for a pick from him because he's not good. Oh, that's a discount. So this is a Tobias Harris. This is a promo. So if you go to the very front page here, Tobias Harris is actually discounted. So you can put up to $10 on this. I would include this Tobias Harris discount line with DeVito, and they don't have a web or they don't have a desktop presence, so I can't show you on my screen. But if you take DeVito over 1 interception, Tobias Harris over PRA, and then I want to take another even prop. Let's go. We can go Jaren Jackson under PRA here. Oh, that's actually even better than what we just got on Fliff. So that's actually crazy. So this Jackson plays under PRA looks good as well. So it's going to be Tobias Harris over PRA, DeVito over passing interceptions, Jaren Jackson under 35.5, Mortal Luck, 3-man non-insured on Jock, and that's a really good play. The reason why we took DeVito, and I get that he set the 0.5 on across this industry, right? We have heavy, extremely heavy juice on the over. Pinnacle minus 256. DraftKings minus 230. Caesar. So what we're doing is we're banking on him throwing 1 or more interceptions. If he pushes, it's not the worst case scenario, right? We're playing the safe game. This guy has a very, very good chance to go over 1 interception. If he pushes, whatever. It's not a loss, right? We don't lose money for pushes. So that's the strategy that we're playing. I guess I can find the percent odds to hit for this to go over just to prove to you guys like why I'm taking this play. Yeah, let's do that. Because there's not much value to attack outside of this. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to educate. This, right now, by devigging these lines, this has a 65.25% chance to go over 0.5, which is wild, right? So we're giving this a percent odds to hit to land on 1. Now the percent odds to hit 1 and go over are even higher, right? So that's freaking wild. That is wild. Anyway, that's the breakdown with DeVito. He sucks. Whatever fundamental analysis you want to bring into that. So let's give this one last look here. I think the promo is really the only thing. Yeah, everything else is below 55. For 3-man non-insureds on Jock Market, you're looking for a break-even percentage of 54.95% plus. Same thing as UD. Same thing as Boom now. Boom has adjusted that. That's actually been relatively recent. They just they didn't announce anything. They just randomly came out with a 3-man non-insured, and it's great. Like, why wouldn't you talk about that? Why wouldn't you market that? Anyway, let's go back to Prizepicks here. We'll switch over to UD, and then we'll call it a live stream if we can't find anything. Yeah, it's dry out here. It's just popped up, but this is college basketball. I know a lot of you can't play college basketball. Parlay play. There was a ton of parlay play value earlier. There's not as much anymore. I'm sorry, guys. I can't do anything. I can answer some questions. Is a correlation tool worth it? Have you made more money by putting picks in from that tool? And the NBA Flex Friday pick recommendations. Thank you for the $5 donation, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so one thing we always like to show on the correlation tool is our exact results. This actually tracks every single slip that is recommended off of our tool. So if you were a sports bettor starting from 818 and you placed every single slip, I'm not saying that you have the ability to do that. I'm saying if you did. So, that's the way we track our success. Like, even if you place half the amount of slips here, your success would be relatively close to this. It would be somewhere around this. You could have, depending on, positive or negative variance, could be even higher than this. So, anyway, this is a good benchmark. So if you were to place one slip every single game, every single DFS app, you would be up over 561 units for a $100 sports bet. That's $56,000. I know you would have probably gotten limited by then. So we like to calculate in terms of $5 just to prove to you guys that this is a profitable tool. You would be up that much money. The tool itself is $200 a month, and in less than 3 months, you would be up $28.09. So that is, that's how much you would be profitable. Do you have better yet? Nope, but it's definitely coming. I will say that we actually had a talk with them recently, so we are looking to get that added. Dak bump, college football correlation. Hi, Matt. I've been doing this for at least 2 months, but it seems like my EV is negative on Prizepicks and parlay play, even though optimal slip type is just to do 55% or so. So let me hear your process, Lauren. What slip types do you play? What percent odds are you playing? Would like to know more about your process. Are you negatively, positively correlating plays? Hey, Matt, possible to go over why the math is a good way to bet on Sportsbook after that tweet. What tweet? Math is one of many ways you can sports bet, and why it's profitable is because you're comparing market value, right? These sports books, just in a nutshell, like a brief overview here. These sports books are out to take your money. These sports books are out to make money off of their sports bettors. So their job is to set the most accurate projections in the industry, because if they do not make money off their sports bettors long term. So whether a player hits from day to day or not doesn't matter. It just matters in the long term. If they're able to set a projection accurate enough with their juice included, off of a 5 to 8% error in the long term, then they're going to be profitable. So why wouldn't you trust these projections to be accurate? So if we devig, if we take out the juice of all these props, we can find the true percent odds to hit. And if that true percent odds to hit outweighs the implied odds per leg on Prizepicks, that is what makes a profitable long-term sports bet. Think about this logically. Like, if the entire market is saying, hey, this has a very good chance to go over, and on Prizepicks it's viewing it as a 50-50 shot, why wouldn't you take it on an app where it's undervalued? So 2.5, they have crazy juice, right? Prizepicks has like 9% hold, one of the highest in the industry. At minus 119 implied odds, why wouldn't you hit this when the entire market is valuing this as having a greater chance? So that's why it's profitable long term. And each slip type is different. You can't just do this for two-man powers. If I filter this by two-man powers, there's no longer any profitable plays because the VIG is higher on two-man powers because they pay out crap. They pay out 3x. They literally pay out crap. Minus 136 implied odds is what you get per leg if you play a two-man power. If you're playing five-man legs, you're getting minus 119 implied odds. Wow, my Prizepicks Flex promo is 50 today and not the usual 20. Might want to keep that to yourself, man. I definitely trust the process and numbers. Could just be negative variance. I missed like so many slips by one stat. I try to correlate within my slips. Okay, so keep in mind that Prizepicks or that Parlay Play just adjusted their payouts for non-insured. So you are to switch your process immediately. 6-man insured plays are better now for Parlay Play, and it's now harder to find value. They've adjusted their lines now to minus 1. Minus 119 implied odds. Are there stretches where the correlation tool doesn't hit, even though you still play the volume? Sure. That's called bad luck. That's called bad variance. But chances are more than not, more likely that you are not going to encounter bad variance with the volume keeping up with the edge at such a great margin on these fantasy apps. Last weekend was the first weekend for NFL, the very first weekend that we did not hit a single slip. At least I personally didn't. I think a couple people did by checking the tool at the right time. Anyway, college football, though, the day before that, we had the best day like ever of any day, like period, for college football. So again, there's there's trade-offs to this, but that was the first weekend. Sure, there's bad variance. Absolutely, there's bad variance. I've had weekends where I've almost not hit a single slip. I have hit a slip every single weekend. I will say that. At least two. But guys, keep in mind, whenever you hit a slip, a 5-man slip on UD, you're going up 19 units. On Prizepicks, you're going up 24 units. That's such a big jump. That outweighs 24 and 19 slips. That's crazy. Like that's insane to like put that in perspective. So if you really if you really are trusting the long-term process, you literally can lose 19 slips in a row. And that sucks. Like that sucks to see. It sucks to see red. Of course. But at the end of the day, like you're playing the math. You're trusting the math. You're trusting the long-term process. And you're going to see if you are playing plus EV on these parlays, right? Your chart should look like this. Right? Like that's how it should look. It should look like very big dips, even greater ups, small dips, big up. The mountains. The mountains are always going to outweigh the valleys. That sounded philosophical. In your life, the mountains will always outweigh. All right. So real quick, if you guys can bet on sportsbook or if you can bet on college football, I would throw this in the two-man power because the math here checks out for non-insured slips. Isaiah Stewart, we're looking for anything higher than 57.75% average odds. Throw that in with that college football play. I don't like including college plays just because a lot of people can't play it, but it looks like Caesars here. I would trust Caesars as more so than I would over parlay play. So 4-yard discrepancy here. Have you been using SportsBet? I have not. Why get DFS when OddsJam provides you with more books, the exact number you should bet? Are you going to upgrade the platform to justify the same price tag? For what are you referring to? So we have fantasy scores and stuff. We actually have more data. So it's really up to your preference. Are you referring to the DFS optimizer? Yeah, we show our stuff differently. So our tools are different. They also, I don't know if you mean the correlation tool because they don't have the correlation tool. OddsJam is fantastic. We are partners. It's up to preference at this point. A lot of 4 or 5, 3 or 5, and 5 or 5 or 5 to 6 slips. Don't worry, your time will come, Alex. Don't worry. Also, if 5 flex gets a DNP and goes down the 4-man flex, which sucks, do DNPs ruin some plus EVs? Sure, yeah. I mean, they do. That's why 6 flexes, a lot of people prefer 6 flexes over 5 flexes, because if something gets DMP'd, then it just bumps down to a 5 flex, the exact same kind of odds per leg. So, what new DFS are you adding to the Opto first? We're looking at Chalkboard and Better. Those are the first two. I think Better's pretty soon. A talk with Jake Paul, I wish. Hi, third day in the sports betting. Everything looks good so far. Any tips for someone starting out? Bankroll management is something that you need to grasp immediately. You cannot put more than 1% of your total bankroll per slip. And this really goes for anybody in here, because this is where everybody screws up. Like literally everybody, including myself when I was starting out. People will say 10% of your bank. Ooh. All college football. If you guys want to take college football, look at the screen. People say 10% of your bankroll on every slip. What is that? What is that bullshit? 20%. Like, what is that? What are you doing? 1% or less on every single slip. If you're a fantasy app player, 1% or less. There's technically advanced math to this. There's the Kelly criterion method. If you're betting less than 1% on every single slip, I'm guaranteeing you that you are playing correct. You're playing optimally when it comes to bankroll managing, and that sucks. If you have $100, that's $1 per slip, and that's not even possible in Prizepicks. So generally speaking, you have to have at least $500 in your account total to bet $5 per slip, and that's the part where everybody screws up, and people just don't like that idea because they want to make money quickly, and that's not a reality. You can't make money quickly in sports betting. You can if you're literally betting for a day and you happen to have some positive variance, but you can also do that by walking into a casino and placing, $500 on red and landing on red, even though it technically only has a 47% chance to land on red, right? 47 and some change. So the odds have to be in your favor then. That's not realistic. If you're that type of sports bettor, if you want to make a quick buck and you want to take a gamble at life, that's on you. But I'm talking to the people who want to invest money and make money long term. Does that make sense? OddsJam and DGF have distinct features that make them unique. Both having is my goal. Alex, appreciate the shout out. 7-man non-insured parlay play seems good. Plus EV thoughts. Yes, it is. But a lot of people don't like those bigger legs. Need to be 21 to use Better. That actually I didn't know. Thanks for is that per state though, or is that overall? Would you ever do weekend streams? Yeah, we tried. We do NFL morning streams. So I must admit, all right, we got some plays. Let's get to it. Prizepicks. Let's snipe this. I'm gonna pull this up on the second screen. You guys are gonna have to trust me here. Try to get this in. I'll try my best. Can't guarantee anything. People are going to hate this one. I recommended this last time and got burned. He only had 2 in the first half, too, and just went bananas in the second. People hate this prop too. Whenever I tweet out about Dicker, people hate it. Yeah, because it's the Chargers and they're always in the red zone. Yeah, people hate that. Let me know if you guys can get that slip in. I tried to go fast, but that is a plus EV play. Very much so. Ooh, here's a better play. If you guys want to switch out, well, I can also just throw him in here. See if you guys can just... It looks like some NFL odds are actually dropping as we speak, so this is very good to know. You guys are going to love this one. Who doesn't like a nice Justin Tucker over? Yeah, those are the ones that I see here. Can you guys get this in there? Did this get bumped? Did these get bumped? Geno Smith got bumped, so let me get him out of here. This play is still plus EV. Go, go, go. But again, the reason why he got bumped, guys, is because Prizepicks is getting rid of that edge. Some people are hammering this bet. People that have access to the market odds are seeing these pop up. Are you guys able to get this in? I want to make sure that you guys are able to. Geno bumped, yep. Yeah, again, like I see a person in here asking about bankroll management. Would it be pointless to play with 250? No, it wouldn't be pointless. It's just you're not allowing yourself to grow your bankroll optimally. And like if you have really bad variance, then you probably won't recover with just $250. Like you have, mathematically speaking, right? Hey, Matt, are you basing your plays based on the percent of the prop? If so, what's the percentage? Great question. So it depends. It depends on the slip type because every single slip type pays out differently, right? We have these different slip types that pay out differently. And based on the break-even percentage, based on those payouts, if I were to show you guys, I can actually do this real quick. I'll do this as the last thing. Make sure I don't show you guys anything I'm not supposed to. My Google Sheets has a lot of stuff, so let me look. So for instance, right, we're showing the plus EV on each specific leg and the percent odds to hit each leg based on the average percent hit rate of each leg. For instance, if I were, we'll take an easy example here, and we'll take a two-man power, right? If you're hitting each one of your player props at a 50% hit rate, on average, that's what casual sports bettors are hitting their odds at 50% of the time. They're hitting their player props. You're going to go 0 of 2 25% of the time. In that instance, you're going to lose $10. This is, again, assuming that you're a $10 sports bettor. If you go 1 of 2, you get $0, right? So that's minus 10. But you're also, based on a 50% hit rate, you're going to go 1 of 2 50% of the time. That makes sense. And you're also going to go 2 of 2 25% of the time. But you're only going to get $20. So think about this, right? If you're losing more often than you're winning, you're going to lose money in the long term for only hitting 50% of your props. So that means for every $10 that you put on a two-man power, assuming that you're only hitting each leg at a 50% hit rate, you're going to lose $2.50 for every $10 that you bet. But what if I increase this to 54%? Well, you know, I'm not losing as much, but I'm still losing. I'm not beating Prizepicks. What about 56%? Again, I'm only losing 59 cents over the long term per $10, but I'm still losing. What about 57? I'm getting close. 25, I'm losing a quarter. What about 57.75%? Now I'm finally breaking even. So I have to hit at a 57.75% hit rate in the long term. I'm also going 2 of 2 more often, right? I'm going 2 of 2. I have to beat over 33.33% of the time to remain profitable in the long run. I'm making $6 every single time, right? At least that's the EV per leg. But I'm losing less often. I'm going 0 of 2 less often, and I'm also going 1 of 2 less often. So if I compare that to a 5 flex or a 6 flex, let's go 5 flex because that's easier to visualize. Every single time I'm going 50%, I'm going 0 of 5, 3.13% of the time. I'm going 1 of 5, 15.63% of the time. I'm going 2 of 5, 31.25% of the time. Same thing, 3 out of 5, right? But now I'm starting to make money on these because of insurance. Well, overall, if I win 50% of the time by going 3 of 5, 4 of 5, 5 of 5, I'm losing $2.50 every single time I put down $10 on a 5 flex insured slip. But if I go, let's say 52%, well, I'm losing less. Sure, I'm winning a little bit more here. I'm hitting 3 of 5, 4 of 5, and 5 of 5 53% of the time. Okay. What if I'm now hitting at a 54% hit rate? Wow, I'm actually pretty close. So what if I'm hitting at a 54.26% hit rate at the time? Now I'm breaking even. I'm actually going 3 of 5, 4 of 5, or 5 out of 5 at nearly 58% of the time if I'm actually hitting at this hit rate. The reason why we observe the market is because the market knows all. The market knows enough to keep making money off of their sports bettors in the long term. And so we're using that knowledge against them. Justin Tucker just got bumped. Just even more proof that this process works. They're getting rid of that edge, right? So I know a lot of that was confusing, but that is the reason, to go back to your original question, what's the percent odds we should be targeting? Well, it depends on the slip type. It depends on what slip you are choosing. For Justin Tucker, if I was able to lock that in at a 6.5 kicking point value projection, then I am going to hit his over based on the sports books, who are setting very, 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 very sharp projections, and they're all agreeing, by the way. If I take that market knowledge, then in the long term, I'm going to hit this at a 54.67% hit rate, which, if all my legs were at a 54.67% hit rate, I'm making 27 cents on average for every $10 that I put down on a Prizepicks slip. But if I am throwing this into a two-man power, I'm losing basically $1 for every $10 that I'm betting. Does that make sense? Giddey over 6.5 rebounds is a good replacement for Geno under 32.5 versus 33.5. Where do you see Giddey at? I think you're just throwing that out there because you happen to like it. Let's actually take a look and I'll explain to you why that's a bad prop. Giddey over 6.5 rebounds. I mean, it's actually not too bad. It looks like it's Pinnacle that's weighing it down. Technically not profitable, but like as a last leg, if your other ones are very, very high, then like if it's still an average break-even percentage of 54.26, I would throw it in there. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's also not great. Got it. So in a 5 flex with no Geno because of bumps, use Tucker instead. Yes, sir. I don't know about y'all, but I've been getting killed on parlay play the past month. Bad variance, I would assume, because parlay play, again, like, their 6-man non-insureds are pretty good in terms of the payouts. It's just harder to naturally hit 6-leggers. Don't worry, keep trusting the process. Again, keep in mind, like, this would be so much easier if we were hitting straight bets. If you guys are using Fliff only, you guys will notice that it's a lot easier to remain profitable on Fliff than it is these other apps because you literally have to hit parlays. So it's just naturally harder to hit. But that's it, guys. Like, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys are taking some value from this live stream. This Van Vliet play just popped up. That's actually a pretty good play. Anyway. Hopefully I will be live a little bit later on today. We usually go live around 4:30 to talk some NBA value. NBA, the most bang for your buck is right before tip-off. It's right in between games. It's a fun experience if you're playing NBA because it's like very you have to be on top of the injury news. Turn your NBA underdog notifications on because when that news breaks, you guys just literally have to switch over to the optimizer, click that refresh button, and then you will literally see the value, the elite value that is presented to you based on the ever-changing injury news, which is, it's amazing to see. So that's the best way to take advantage. I will be live to show you guys that process firsthand. How many games are today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 games. So plenty of value to take advantage of today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this live stream, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate all of you. Let's cash. Talk to you guys later.